And so without further ado, let us go back to the Zoom machine and say hello to the California kid, a.k.a. the California dad, Urijah Faber. How are you, Urijah?
What's up? The nostalgia.
We're back, baby.
Buddy.
Isn't it nice?
It is nice. It is nice. Congratulations on all the new turns of events, man. It's pretty awesome to see you, doing your own thing.
You can go home again, Urijah, in case you didn't know. You're a home guy. You've never left the 916, but I just want to let you know, in case you were wondering, you can go home again.
Hey, well, you're a beacon of hope for everyone.
Thank you.
Ariel.
My mom is very excited because she watches every show. She pops her popcorn. She loves you. She's so happy you're on your show. I think number 2 in terms of excitement is your dad. I think your mom, your dad, and my mom are the 2 most excited people about this show coming back.
I shared the text my dad just sent me out of the blue, saying his excitement for how Ariel is going to be having all the success and believed in you. Yeah. I know it's, it
was very nice.
Kindness from both sides. Your mom's the best too. So
very, very
super
nice.
Cool.
Okay, we have a lot to talk about, Urijah. First, I have to ask you, this is the main question. This is the biggest question I think anyone wants the answer to, and it's the one I've been wanting to ask you for a couple of weeks. I saw you in the cage a couple of weeks ago serving as a translator, Urijah. This was a very bizarre scene. Like someone was talking to someone. What was going on there? Do you know how to speak? What language were they speaking? Portuguese, right? What was going on there?
Portuguese.
Yeah, what was going on? Are you a translator now? What's happening? It was very...
I do it all. It was all smoke and mirrors, unfortunately, but that was so Fabio is my longtime jiu-jitsu instructor, and I think a lot of people have known I've had Russian coaches that barely speak English. I've had Thai coaches that barely speak English. I've had Brazilians that barely speak English, and the list goes on. My grandparents had heavy accents from Holland. Their English was great, but nonetheless, I'm used to dealing with accents, and so they came to Fabio and said, "Hey, we don't have a translator. We need you to translate." He did not want to translate. He can communicate fine, but he's a little bit difficult to understand. But for me, I speak fluent Fabio English. So Fabio took the translation and he translated to me, and I translated Fabio's English to everyone else.
It was unbelievable. I loved it. It was great teamwork. That was the Dillashaw Sanhagen card, right?
Yes. Yep.
Any interactions with your old friend, your old teammate?
With TJ?
Yeah.
No. Just we're in the same hotel the whole time, out by the pool, et cetera, but just kind of minding our own business.
Like when you see him, do you talk?
No, not really. I mean, I haven't really been interactive with the guy in a very long time. I don't know how long ago that was now. 6 years, 7 years, something like that?
Yeah.
So no, not really.
Did you watch?
I did get a random text the other day.
Oh.
Or a missed phone call. It was funny because I had a missed phone call from Cody. Then I had a missed call from TJ Dillashaw, like 4 minutes apart. And I was like, what the heck? So this is really weird. So I just texted him. I'm like, did you call me? And no response. So,
damn.
What's happened is people are learning how to, there's like a phone app maybe or something where people can get your phone number and call from someone else's number or make it seem like somebody else. I think maybe that happened, or else he butt dialed me. I don't know.
It's funny you say that because I'm oversharing here, but why the hell not, right? Independent Helwani. When I announced that I was leaving ESPN, I got a text message from an unknown number that I looked up that said it was an unknown number, and all it read was, "I told you we would run you out of ESPN. Bye-bye." And I was like, oh, I wonder who wrote that to me, but I don't know.
What? Is that your story?
I swear on my life. Literally within an hour.
And who do you think it was?
I don't know. I have some theories.
Female or male?
I don't know. I didn't ask them. I just left it. How am I supposed to know if it's female or male? What are you talking about?
I'm not sure.
But they spelled it bye-bye, like B-U-H-B-Y-E. I don't know if that's a giveaway or anything. In any event, did you see the fight? The Dillashaw Sanhagen?
You weren't insinuating that TJ Dillashaw sent you that message, are you?
No, absolutely not. I like TJ. No, that is not the direction I was going in. Is that what you thought I was insinuating?
I don't know what you're talking about,
I
man, but
don't
now it makes sense. Okay. You're
Okay.
just relating to my story.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay.
uh,
I'm like, why would TJ want to
no, no,
really
no,
pretty
no,
fair to TJ, I think.
no. Of course, TJ and I are cool. I think we're cool. What did you think of his performance?
I thought he looked good. I mean, look, there's no doubt TJ's a great fighter. I mean, I feel like Sandhagen got beat up more, and I was sitting ringside, so I thought they were going to say Sandhagen won, but it wasn't like a ripoff. It was TJ was pushing the pressure, and he was trying to implement his game plan, which was to dirty box and put pressure and kind of make it an ugly fight, wrestle. Sandhagen landed a bunch of heavy shots, but I think he looked good.
Yeah. And we'll see if they get him a title shot next or where he goes from here. I was told through the grapevine, Urijah, you tell me I come to the source. There's been some chirping about you versus Marlon Chito Vera on October 30th. Is there any truth to this?
No.
No truth.
No. Not that I know of.
Has there been any talk of you fighting Marlon Vera?
You know what? Sean Shelby so I just did an interview with the Schmo.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, he was asking if I was going to come back and fight. And then I said, maybe, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We'll see what happens. I just recently have dislocated my poor little pinky there.
Oh, my dear. Yeah, I see it.
Which I was shocked. It's just not, I can't make a fist or anything with it as of now. And it's been almost 6 weeks. So I'm not thinking of fighting anybody because I can't make a fist with my right hand at all. But I did have from my manager say somebody, Sean Shelby asked me if I wanted that fight in October. And I said, hey, let's meet in Texas, sit down and talk because I didn't know what was going to happen with this and just see kind of what they're thinking, etc. And see if there's maybe a different plan because they do throw out fights for me on occasion. And I'm not completely out of the idea, but, it was like 2 ships in the night at the event.
Never spoke.
Shelby and I never spoke, never talked about it. I asked him twice to talk about it and it didn't happen. So I would like to have, heard what the deal was, kind of tell him my scenario, but it never really happened. And then in the Schmo interview, I know you're a big fan of the Schmo, so you probably have already seen it. But he had asked me about fighting, and then I said, there's I've had about 8 or 9 people call me out. Casey Kenny just called me out in the ring after Song Yadong's fight in a friendly manner. Just said, hey, in all due respect, let's fight. Chito Vera, somebody told me that he posted something recently and the Schmo mentioned that. And I said, yeah, that'd be a good fight, which I think it would be a good fight. There's a lot of good fights out there for me.
So can you say definitively that you will fight again one day, or you don't even know the answer to that?
I don't know the answer. The one thing for sure is that I was not going to do any type of fighting when there's no crowd. The whole experience for me is the experience. And, sure, the money's great if you go and have a fight, but it's not just about that for me. It's about, the whole experience.
Yeah.
Especially at my age and why I would be doing it. I came out of retirement near my birthday, had a new baby, just, the whole shebang. And so if there's no whole shebang, I'm not going to fight. But now that things are opening up, I wouldn't put it past me. I just have to make sure that I feel really great and, get myself in tip-top shape. I would like to be able to make a fist, of course. Especially with my right hand. But, I wouldn't put it past me, but it's not like a definitive thing.
You when you watch the fights, do you get a fire? Do you get a tingle? Do you get an itch? Whatever. Do you feel like there's something there? And it's not just to actually fight, right? People don't think you got to go through a 2-month training camp, most likely, and the whole process.
Well, for me, I would need a much longer training camp because, and I did that when I came out of retirement the first time. I did a big rev up and a jiu-jitsu competition and got myself in tip-top shape before I even really considered it. And then I'd say, okay, for a 2-month camp.
Right.
I'm not doing things half-assed, and I do great against the guys in the room, but I mostly grapple these days. I'm not like sparring by any means. But I would really take it serious, like Rocky 5 type of situation when and if I take a fight.
Right.
So, that's kind of the scenario. It's not just a 2-month camp.
Speaking of someone coming out, this came out of the blue. Chad Mendes, bare knuckle.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? What do you know? Are you still tight with Chad?
Yeah. We helped put that deal together for him.
Nice.
And the biggest thing is Chad is doing really well. He's got a couple of different businesses. He's got his Fins and Feathers and the Gills and Thrills he does with Clay Guida. Those are both his businesses. He's got these rubs that he's doing. He's got this beef that's super high end beef. They feed all almond food is what it is, like almond leaves and almond shells and almonds. These cows. He's got all this stuff going, and the guy's in amazing shape. He just hunts and works out and does business and raises his daughter, another baby on the way. Wow. So when they keep offering him fights, I've known Chad since he was in high school. That dude's one of the most durable people on the planet, and he likes a good fight. I mean, it's the type of guy that wouldn't shy away from a fight if somebody was getting into a fight. So I think a combination of him being restless, the opportunities keep getting pushed at him, and good pay that he can have a plan for that money. It's not like he needs the money, but he will turn that money into more money and have a good time doing it. It's one discipline that he's good at. It's 5 2-minute rounds. So he said, "Hey, F it, let's go."
Okay, so are you surprised, given your take on the business and your experience, your history, that they let him do this? Because he's under contract with the UFC, right? That's what came out. He even said himself that he was surprised. Are you surprised?
I'm not that surprised. I think people have a misconception about Dana and the UFC brass. And Hunter's the one that signed the okay for him to do that. They're not trying to necessarily hold people back unless they have a plan for them. You know what I mean? Like, I get a GSP where they're holding back. Like, they would like him to come back and fight for them, and he's worth a ton of money. Chad has said, "Hey, look, I'm not going to fight MMA again at all. I've already moved on and started businesses. I'm doing fine, etc. I would like to box, and I'm not. And if I do come back to MMA, I would like to come back to you guys." And so they not trying to hold the guy back in that scenario. And Dana, is a great business guy. Cares about the bottom dollar, but I think he does care about the fighters. That's one thing that I've learned from being a friend with him throughout the years, and I've seen, of course, would I like to have got paid better on some things? Yes, everybody does. But the ability to be where I am, do I owe a lot to the brass that put this place on the map, the Fertitas and Dana's heart and love for the sport? Absolutely. And I think they still hold that true. They're not going to hold a guy back who could go make a good living and do something fun and still kind of represent them. Chad's a representative of our sport and one of the best to do it. So I think they kind of saw that, and I wasn't too surprised.
We're starting to see a
little surprised.
Right. Fair enough. Tito going to boxing, Anderson going to boxing, Woodley's boxing, Jake Paul, Chad. Would you ever go down this path as well?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm 42 at this point, and for me, I'm not doing a boxing match where, honestly, as you age, look, I don't care how tight things are. I'm genetically gifted from a standpoint of being a well put together athlete. Muscle and hard to do damage to, et cetera, on top of working really hard. But I don't care how tight something is. Over years, you hit on it for 20 plus years, it's going to loosen up a little bit. As an older fighter, the thing that you have to watch out for is that you are a little bit more likely to be affected by punches, etc. So I can play against that with being extremely good technically, still having, enough of a chin and being able to do battle and test that out. But we also have all the different disciplines in mixed martial arts. We have the clinch, and we have wrestling, and we have jiu-jitsu, and we have the ability to kick and push. So for a guy who's 40, 42, and knowing that's the only thing that's given, because I'm not a worse mixed martial arts fighter than I ever was. I'm not a person that believes in myself less than I ever was. The only thing is that, everything is not as tightly knit as it was up where it counts. You've seen it time and time again. Guys like Chuck Liddell and guys that say, "Hey, just my chin is gone." And I was a guy that had a style that didn't really take a lot of damage, but it wouldn't make sense for me to go throw my hat into a sport where that's the only way a guy is trying to win against you is to knock your head off.
What
It's
about
not as much of a chess match. It's more like checkers.
I got you. Yep, for sure. Jan and Sterling, what'd you make of that? That's your division. You fought Jan. That whole scene back in March, they're going to run it back in October with the knee and how Sterling handled it afterwards.
What's he going to do? Here's the way I look at it. Was he losing the fight? I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Was it sliding away from him a little bit? Yes. Did he actually get an illegal strike to his head? Yes. And so in that scenario, could he have continued? I'm sure he could have continued. Now, should he continue where the odds are stacked against him on the way the fight's going, and he also had an illegal blow that may or may not have had some sort of effect in the fight? So I don't completely blame him for like, hey, just tough it out, get up and fight again, whatever the deal is. It's not the greatest way to watch the passing of the guards, the exchange of the belt. And so I don't really know how to react to how he was, the whole thing that went down. Should he hold the belt? He threw the belt down, didn't want it, and then later he's holding it or whatever the deal is. Like, who cares? Let's have him fight again. And I'm looking forward to seeing the adjustments on both sides and seeing who's the baddest dude. At that time, I think, you look at that fight, I think Jan had some great takedowns and had an advantage on the feet. But Sterling wasn't completely out of it.
By the way, I held these pictures up before you came on. I don't know if you can see, here they are. This is you,
Yeah.
Babyface, Urijah, and Babyface. Such a nice scene just a couple of weeks ago, you guys embracing. He genuinely still cares about you and your leg and everything. Like this, like it seemed like you guys are going to be tied for life, but like there's a mutual love and respect there. It was so nice to see you guys hug it out.
Oh, I love Aldo. I've always said Aldo is one of the best pound for pound guys.
I agree.
On the planet for sure. I mean, the stint that he went, and I think he really carries himself like a champion too. Like the way he lives his life, the way he's constantly improving, even, learning, leaving no stone unturned by dropping down a weight when I know that was a difficult thing. And we've always had mutual respect. I found a picture from like 11 years ago after we had fought. We were all at dinner. John Jones was just getting going, and we're in Vegas somewhere having dinner. I've got nothing but respect for the guy. But I don't think he was hugging me because he felt bad about my leg. I was just joking around.
No, I know. Of course, it's been like 11 years, but I just feel like there's a mutual, I don't know, he just comes across as a very genuine, thoughtful guy, especially older. Even like when he's asked about Conor, he takes the high road and he says nice things. Like, what a freaking legend. And it's so nice. You think he's 40. The guy's 34. It feels like he's been around forever. It's wild.
That's the crazy thing. And it's funny. I remember the first time I met Aldo was in his debut in the WC was in Sacramento. And he came up to me in the hotel room and, introduced himself, gave me a big hug and asked if we could take a picture together.
Wow.
And that's the same with Jan when I met Jan in Singapore. And I just remember when I was younger, when I was taking pictures of guys that I knew I would probably fight or I looked up to, whatnot, that's a motivation thing. And I remember knowing when we took that picture that, this is going to be probably a target on the wall.
Yeah.
But that's this world we live in, man. This world is as close to nature as you get, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a
circle of life.
The circle of life. And I love that about the sport. Yeah. Aldo's great. We'll be friends, till we're old dogs.
Urijah, you're the man. It wouldn't be a first show without you. I keep Little did you know, back in 2009, when you agreed to do that interview in the bed with your hand in a cast when you were WC champ, that you would know that I'd keep bringing you back for these anniversaries and whatnot. But we're tied for life. What can I say, Uriah? So I appreciate you
That's
doing
right.
this. Thank you so much, and maybe we'll see you back in there in the future.
Yeah. What's up with your brother, man?
Yeah, how about
You gotta
that?
get him to sponsor the show. What's going on? Plug your brother.
You see how much I don't know if you follow me. I mean, I know you see when I plug my Maccabee basketball.
I saw your
trophies.
modeling for him. It's about time you got the modeling, Gabe.
Okay, I plug my brother so much now. I always share stuff, always because of that comment that you made many moons ago. And he's opening up a store in New York City. It would be great to have you there. Maybe you could stop by. He's opening up a store in Soho, so he's come a long way.
All right.
So the next time you're here, you come. Anything on me, all right?
You got it. But hey, congratulations on the twists and turns. I'm going to text you individually and tell me who you think that was.
Okay.
That,
I'll tell you who.
Be a gentleman.
All right, fair enough.
Do you know who it is? Like in your heart,
I actually
who it was?
Oh no, I think I know, but I don't know for sure.
Send me the number because I'll fact check on my saved numbers as well.
Okay.
We'll
cross-reference. Deal.
Good
Thank you,
back, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much. There he is, the legend, California Kid, my mom's favorite fighter, dating back to the early